Hello and welcome to the Covert Nerd Podcast. Thank you for listening. I appreciate the time that you give me. Today's episode, we had a great time sitting down with Jeff and Eddie from the Make Eternia Great Again podcast. It's a He-Man podcast. They have some awesome content. I know you'll enjoy it. I'll include a link in the show notes to their website, and you can go and check it out for yourself. They're a great bunch of guys, and I enjoyed sitting down with them and Lee Bokma, and we duked it out in a nerd death match. So without further ado, let's dive right in and nerd it up.
Comics have been read. Action figures assembled. Video games have been played. A battle decades in the making. Two nerds enter the arena to do battle. Two nerds leave the arena more nerdy than ever. It's time for a nerd deathmatch.
All right, so we're going to have a good time here with Jeff and Eddie and Lee Bokma. So I'm Lee with the Covert Nerd Podcast.
I'm Lee Bokma from the Art of Lee Bokma.
I'm Jeff Geegan from Make Eternia Great Again.
I am Eddie Fossler from Make Eternia Great Again, Daydream Instruction Manual, Paranormal Dads, and Falcon Punch Thunder Dads.
He is the king of podcasts, but that way you as a listener know who's talking as we're doing this new nerd death match, Mega versus Covert Nerd death match. It's going to be an awesome time. So thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to duke it out.
That's right.
Duke it out. Look at it.
Look out.
We're friends, but we're going to be like fighting friends.
Here come the paper cuts.
Exactly. For you as a listener, if this is your first death match, typically how we do it is we pick three characters from any genre and put them versus against each other. This one just happens to be, since Jeff and Eddie do a He-Man podcast, we wanted to do a He-Man character versus some other characters from fiction. And so we'll pick three. Each side has their characters that they've picked. We'll go through them a little bit, talk about them, go over some memories, and then they get a chance to duke it out, and we'll see who wins. And you're the listener, so you can help decide that as well. So the first one we have is RoboCop. So we're doing RoboCop versus Rio Blast.
Man,
Yes.
A lot of guns.
Guns
That's right.
ablazing.
Lots of guns.
so many guns.
And since it's RoboCop, it will be R-rated.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
it'll be R-rated.
So-
Well, and yeah, and Rio too. Let's be honest.
That's right.
He's got an R-rated streak in him.
He does.
The R is for R-rated.
It's R for Rio.
Anybody that wears boots like that, you know he's got an R-rated streak in him.
He says things like, "Gosh darn it," and
Yes.
"Heck." Bro, crusties.
So if a side note, if you listen to this podcast, go to the Make Eternia Great podcast, and you'll get a lot of these jokes. The podcast is hilarious, especially the last one. So
Yeah,
make sure you
thank
listen
you.
to the last one.
Oh, man.
I'm not sure if this is going to get an R rating though, gentlemen, because if knowing RoboCop, looking back, that when they submitted that movie to the MPAA, it got an X rating.
X rating.
Yes.
11 times.
Oh my god.
Yes.
It wasn't until the 12th edit that they finally got it down to an R rating. So we may be going X rated today.
Yeah. Okay, kids, women, and children.
Covert nerd.
Rio's like, that's it, more jalapenos in my chili.
Spice it up.
They're going to take him down through the belly.
He looks at
Yeah.
RoboCop. He's like, "You just got a gun in your thigh. That's easy."
I think that's the funny thing is they'll edit it down to R-rated, but yet there was 31 deaths in the R-rated version.
Oh, man.
How many were in the X-rated version?
So was it pure violence that drove
Yes.
that rating?
Yes.
There wasn't much nudity in that
They didn't have
show.
any,
It
like,
was all
language.
violence and language. And the one scene where like the gang shoots up
Right.
Peter Weller's character.
Yeah.
Like even in the R rating, that was like
It's brutal. It's brutal.
When did that movie come out again?
1987. Summer of 87.
So I was 10 years old. Not quite 10. I was going to be 10. And I remember my mom and dad went to go see it. She comes back. She looked like she.
Your mom and dad went
My
to
mom
it?
and dad went to go see it. Right.
Wow.
And no judges, but they were Mormon. They shouldn't have gone. They shouldn't have gone.
No judging.
Church points minus. But my mom comes back. She looked like she had gone to war.
Yeah.
And she was just like, "You're never seeing this movie." That's what she told me. Because I was a kid, you see the commercials, you're like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
"What?" Like it was like they had toys.
oh yeah, we were talking
yeah.
about that before the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
I think there was a RoboCop cartoon, maybe even.
Oh, you know it.
Probably.
There was like a bunch of
toy
other
line.
R-rated like
Rambo had a toy line.
R-rated.
Kids, it's R-rated.
And cartoon.
Wasn't Indiana Jones R-rated as well?
No, it's PG, but
Was it
he
PG?
caused that
Okay.
movie, or Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom caused the PG-13 rating to come
okay.
out.
Okay.
But this was very R-rated.
Oh, man.
Because he just gets like chopped
Yes.
to bits.
Remember he's
Shocked
at the
in the
beginning when they
hand.
shoot his hand off, and boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
But
that's the thing, because I remember watching it as a kid, and I was like, I know I watched it as a kid. I remember with my cousins in the room watching it.
So
but
much
then
to
as an
explain.
adult, I was like, I don't remember this movie very much. And then I started watching, I'm like, oh, probably because I was like, I love this movie. And like blocking my face the entire time, you know?
Exactly.
And I was
It
like,
came
I
out-
remember 11 minutes of it.
It came out in '87, but I first watched it on a TV version. You know how ABC and NBC
Right.
at the time always used to edit it down.
Yeah.
And the edited TV version was actually, I thought, in my sheltered mind, because I grew up a lot like Eddie, a very sheltered home, so it was pretty intense for
Yeah,
me.
you've never seen violence at that level. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, anytime, really.
No.
And I think the only time I'd seen anything remotely that, like, traumatic was probably when I saw Swamp Thing, when he fell into the... Didn't he fall in?
yeah.
It was like,
Yeah,
"Ah!"
melted or
Well, then he caught on fire and
Yes.
ran out of this. I literally just watched this last weekend.
Yeah.
So I
Did
was
ya?
super up
Yeah.
onto
Oh,
my
man.
1982.
Fresh. But yeah, I mean, it's
Swamp
pretty
Thing.
traumatic for a kid.
Well, I think the most traumatic part, not one Swamp Thing, because he got on fire and ran out, but like when he changes the henchman, like the bad guy gives
That's
up
what it
form of
was.
his henchman, and he like starts melting, and goes under the
Yes.
table,
Yes.
and comes up as that little pig monkey dude.
Yes.
It's so creepy.
Good movie, though.
Pour one out for Pig Monkey Dude. Sorry, buddy.
Well, as I was researching this, you can see I have the list here, and it'll be in the show notes of the summer of '87 when this came out. Look at the list of the top 10 movies that were in '87, but then look below there at the other movies, and you guys will appreciate this. Masters of the Universe came out in '87. Spaceballs,
Dude.
Monster Squad,
Oh, Monster Squad.
Princess Bride,
Kick him in the
You-
dog.
Running Man.
You skipped Dirty Dancing.
Well,
right by that one.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
that's right. But look at look at number 10 there of the highest grossing movies. We had Predator, but then Arnold also had Running Man, so he had
Right.
two
Right.
huge movies. Beverly Hills Cop 2 was number 1.
Man.
But look at that list. I know
Dude,
Eddie
I'm telling
on
you.
Dave's Dream Instruction Manual, you and Billy were talking about the movies in 1989,
Yeah.
which was phenomenal, but look at that list.
I've always, when I was on your show last time, Lee,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about how like '87 to me, I thought was like the pinnacle.
Right,
I thought '87 just had everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the toy lines were all killing it at the time. You know, Master of the Universe, G.I. Joe. You know, comic books were doing
Transformers.
really good. Transformers. You know, everything was just crushing it.
Was
in
that
87.
86? Transformers?
Yeah, it was.
The movie
It
was.
The movie.
But it came out on VHS in '87.
7, yeah, which is
That's
how
right.
most of us.
Yeah, that's right. I gotta
Oh,
go down to the food for less to go
Oh
rent
no! I saw that sucker on the Navy movie theater holding my Optimus Prime in my lap.
Tear covered in tears.
Dude, I went home and put him in my sock drawer and shut it. And I was like, "Geez, I can't play with a dead guy. He's dead now."
that. He's not even gray.
But yeah, what a crazy like list of amazing films.
I know, I had to include that. And then Peter Weller, who did RoboCop, also directed some Hawaii Five-0 TV shows, MacGyver, along with other TV shows during that time. So he went on to do a lot.
Yeah, he was in Buckaroo Banzai, wasn't he?
He was.
He was.
That's a
Buckaroo Banzai.
great, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a wacky
Good call,
dude.
Eddie.
Loved it.
Because he was a rock musician,
Yep.
a brain surgeon,
Yep.
and a leader of the Hong Kong Cavaliers, his
Yes.
group of like mercenaries.
Yes.
And another interesting tidbit I found out about Peter Weller in real life, he has a PhD in art history.
You're
Really?
My
He's
goodness.
literally a doctorate level art historian.
Wow.
That's amazing.
In
And then
in
you
addition
do-
to being RoboCop.
RoboCop and walking his stiff.
That movie to me is if our Last Starfighters group just sat down and made a movie.
Yes.
That's what Buckaroo. We should make another Buckaroo
Buckaroo
Banzai.
Banzai.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
There's I just watched the trailer of Buckaroo Banzai a few days ago, and there's a scene where he's like walking down this like drainage ditch, and like one buddy after another just like comes in and like joins him in like the
Nice.
montage, and they're all like slow motion, like in V formation.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And Jeff Goldblum's like got the fuzzy chaps on because he's like a weird character in that show.
I love. That's how we assembled our team.
Yeah.
That's right.
We walked on a drainage ditch, and everybody just queued up as we walked on.
The funny thing in the movie, I found out that on most movies, you know how they start the movie and they have kind of the credits going at the beginning.
Yeah.
This one just has the RoboCop logo. Boom, start of the movie. There's
Yeah.
no credits or anything.
Yeah.
It just starts.
Which is kind of how things are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they used to front load credits.
So this is cool. You know what's cool about this?
What's
So this might have like paved the way for that kind of movie opening.
Yeah.
But then Masters of the Universe was the second, not the first. I thought they were second. But the second movie ever to have after credits.
Post-credit scene, yeah. Ferris Bueller was number one, first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I know I talked to you when we did our episode. I had watched the Master Universe movie dozens of times.
Yep.
And then I didn't realize
Had
there was
no
a post-credit
idea, yeah.
scene.
And now it's just like, it's just like common nature. You just have to stay at the end of the movie to see what's going to happen
gonna have
now.
one?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people just stood up as soon as the credits started.
Yeah, like,
just out.
leave.
Time to go. I gotta go in my car.
Dad, just go.
Get in the car.
But Dad, there's 13 minutes. Go.
Go. There's a scene. I don't care.
Lee Bokma, like this, the composer on RoboCop was Basil. I'm going to slaughter his last name. Maybe you can say it better.
Polidorus.
Who did Conan.
Yep.
And did Hunt for Red October as well.
Yeah,
Man.
Conan the
Several.
Barbarian still like the greatest, in my opinion,
Oh, yeah.
movie soundtrack all time.
Maybe John Williams.
No.
Maybe?
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
Peter Elfman, get out.
Get out.
Hacks. You're like Lex Luthor or whatever. You ever heard of Aristotle? Plato?
Socrates. Morons.
Morons.
Oh, no, that's for Princess Bride.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Morons.
So that's RoboCop, 1987, very violent movie, and it's very.
I cried. I did. I cried. I wept when I was like, I thought I did. I wasn't ready. I didn't see it in '87. I saw it probably 2 years later. I was about 12, and I got a hold of it. HBO. Gotta love it. Unedited.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
wow.
And just witnessed a man just get blown to bits, and I had never.
Yeah.
I think I blocked it out because it wasn't until I'd seen Braveheart years later where I was like, that was dark, and then I'm like, Braveheart was still pretty up there.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry, RoboCop.
RoboCop is a very violent movie, very
Within the first 5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
It's like
because
right
he
there.
gets all of his parts blown off, and he has to get put back together, so to speak.
Yeah.
And the organic food, you know how they give him that baby food?
Right.
I found out it's a mixture of parsnip, tomato puree, and crushed Butterfinger bars.
Oh my goodness.
Sounds
Delicious.
So there's your recipe for today. Mom,
Man.
I'm making RoboCop food.
It's RoboCop pudding.
It's the RoboCop diet.
You know what makes Rio's chili so great?
That's right.
Yes.
Chips and Butterfingers.
All right.
Oh, man.
So there's RoboCop. So let the mega guy. Oh,
I was gonna say the one more thing on RoboCop, the memory that I want to bring up is that other robot, the ED-209, the
Yes,
Ed 209.
yeah.
Like I wanted a whole nother movie of that
Yeah.
robot.
just that.
I
That
agree.
thing was it like growled like a cougar, it was like or something.
Yeah.
And
I
Is that the
know.
one that looked like a car but had two giant
Giant guns
on
and
the
two
side,
legs.
and like kind of walk.
And I know when I
Yeah.
saw it, I agree. I was like, I think I want him, not RoboCop.
Yeah,
They had the rare form of when the villain is cooler than the guy.
Yeah.
The artist that designed that, I found out he also designed the AT-ATs from Star Wars, and he did the artistic work for the Tauntauns and the dinosaurs on Jurassic Park too.
Oh
Wow.
So look at
That's
that.
incredible.
That's
That's
a
pretty
pretty
cool.
good lineup. No wonder it's so cool.
All right.
His arms are.
See, that's what's funny. Speaking of which, I remember as a kid watching that, I was like, "This is so real!" Like they actually made a robot that does this, and then like you watch it now, and it's like, you know, it's like oh, that's oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I can't believe I
special
was fooled by
effects
that. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
CGI was like horrible, but
Yeah. It seemed like the tone of that movie just started off so dark.
Yes.
Like, the specter of that just kind of hung over
Right.
the whole time.
well, it's kind of like it's reminiscent of Anakin Skywalker, you know, in
Yeah.
the lava scene, you know, where his leg
Oh,
get
yeah.
fried up and everything, and
Don't get me on this path.
it's you know what else it's like?
The butcher.
It's like the Black Knight from the Holy Grail, you know.
Come back here.
Come back here.
Just a
You
stump
can't fight. Your legs are gone. I had mentioned this at work, and the guys just kind of rolled their eyes because I still call it the breaking of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep.
When I was like all they had to do was show him kick Anakin off the side of the volcano. And then like have him think he died and be like, cool, and then walk away. But no, he had to see him writhing around with no arms and legs. Be like, I'm out.
Starting on fire.
Exactly. I hate you. I had the high ground, and then just walks away. Anyway, whatever.
Anyway, that's a good point.
It made me watch the episode 4 a lot differently when like Luke meets Obi-Wan and they're kind of like in their little scene where they just got rescued from the sand people, and Luke's like, "Tell me about my father." And now in the back of like Obi-Wan's mind, he sees that, but he's like, "Oh yeah, your dad. He was cool."
Yeah,
I saw memes about that. It was like, yeah, like thinking like I butchered him and left him for dead on the side of the volcano.
He was all right.
Vader killed him in a certain way. You made me stab you. Anyway,
Rio Blast.
Rio Blast.
RoboCop versus Rio.
So yeah, Rio Blast. We'll start off with probably one of my favorite Motu characters. I almost said Mega. That's not.
It kind of is now.
He's become
I think
that.
we've adopted him.
But we'll go off of our memory and then fill it in. What was his full name again?
Rioless Blast.
I felt like that was an unnecessary thing.
I think it was.
They didn't have to make it longer.
No.
But yeah, and he comes from the planet, is it
Laredo.
Yeah,
Yep,
Laredos, right?
Laredos, yeah.
And so right out of the gate, you're like, it's a whole planet full of cowboys,
That's
apparently.
right,
Like,
yeah. There is no Wild West. This is the Wild World.
It's kind of like the whole, like, do you have any not country music? That's your thought?
What?
It's just music where I'm come from.
Just music.
What's this country
Of the
What is
Masters of the
country?
Universe
What is that?
line of toys. Kind of part and parcel for this, unlike RoboCop, who was a movie first, and then the toys, and then the cartoons, and then the comics, and all the things. It was kind of the opposite, where you're with the He-Man things, it was toy first. And then the other things were looked at as vehicles to drive that character, and so the thing that we pointed out in our podcast is that there never was a cartoon featuring Rio Blast. That was one of the big like robberies, which what spawned the whole like I wonder what Rio sounds like. And he sounds like this.
They never gave him a voice in the cartoon, right?
No.
He was just in the background.
He was never in a cartoon at all.
Oh,
they
I
never
thought he
even
was.
animated him. Nope.
Even Snout Spout got in the background.
Snout Spout made it in on
He
the
was in
Christmas
a-
special.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was also on She-Ra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is not a She-Ra or He-Man episode that has Rio Blast in it whatsoever. And even as a kid, I remember being like, that's kind of weird, right? Like, why would you make a toy and then have him in a comic book, but he's completely forgotten in every other medium?
Right, and you have to think about it too. Like, you talk about Motu, Master of the Universe to most people, and most people will remember Rio Blast. So that just has to show you like how cool of a character he was and how memorable he was.
Yeah.
If he had nothing other than the toy himself.
Right.
And
how weird,
what a
because-
missed opportunity.
Because I mean, you have a barbarian riding a green tiger, and then right beyond that, you have like Ram Man, who will come up later. It sounds like so they all kind of aesthetically make sense.
Right.
And then you start getting into robots and monsters, and then all of a sudden a cowboy shows up, and it's like, yeah, I guess we have a cowboy.
That's right.
But yeah, Rioless Blast and comes from Laredos, and he too was in a horrible accident.
Yep.
It wasn't an experiment, right? It wasn't.
No, it was a war.
Yeah.
And
War of Laredos.
That's right. And so basically, it was Hordak came to his planet and had a big war over there, and then he, basically drove Hordak away in this war and everything, and kicked him off the planet. But in the midst of that war, he was just shredded up, just like RoboCop was.
Yeah.
And so the scientists on Laredos, they put him back together, and this time they were like, well, the other thing is like his family was killed, I guess, and so he's like, he's got nothing else to live for, so let's just make him into a big machine.
Yep.
And so they put guns everywhere in Rio, so
We could replace his lungs. No.
He gets double-barreled laser cannons.
That's right.
That's what we need. He had guns in his chest.
His chest,
and his arms,
and his arms and his wrists, and then he had them in his thighs. And then he wore a big, huge backpack that went over
with more guns.
Yep, and it was like big laser cannons with eyeglasses, So oh man,
this took another viewing because it's so funny how you look at the same character for hundreds of times and still notice new things. And it took seeing Art of Lee Bokma's work on our upcoming on the Last Starfighter's upcoming comic book. On that gun backpack, the guns have guns.
There's little tiny guns on top of the main guns.
Yes.
Oh my god!
And his guns have guns.
Guns have guns. And equally traumatic beginning. It wasn't so much a gang coming after as much as just a full-on war, and he got lit up. And
that's got to be one of the darkest origin stories in Motu.
And they gloss over it so beautifully. It was just like he fought in the War of Laredos against Hordak and sustained injuries, and then instead they gave him guns. It was just like
they Frankensteined him up.
Yeah, almost like they're like get back to where he goes to the hospital at the battle and like clean him up, give him more guns, and send him back out.
Get him back out there.
Get him out there.
I picture him like alone with just one of his guns, like, guns, you're the only friend I have.
I wonder if that's where SNL got the more cowbell skit from, was the designers at Mattel or whatever.
More guns.
Or like,
more guns.
He's drawing it, and the editor's like, give him more guns.
Steve, I told you, more guns.
His last name
Fine.
is
You know what?
Blast.
I'm going to give you so many guns. And
I will say both characters, their names completely give you what they are. There's no
True.
hidden RoboCop. Hey, no false advertising here.
Right.
And Rio Blast. Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's something with blasting with this guy. I wonder
Yeah,
what
yeah, I wonder
he has
what it
guns everywhere.
And I mean that's for all intents and purposes, that's his origin.
How did he get to Eternia? I don't remember.
So basically, the story is like his planet exploded.
Okay.
Because his origin story wasn't sad
It
enough.
wasn't enough. It was like, hey, I made it through the war. What's that big dynamite in the ground for? Boom! And then next thing you know, he's flying through space.
So he literally got hurled through space.
Yep, hurled
and
through
landed
space.
on Eternia.
Landed on Eternia, yep.
So so he got horribly disfigured and injured. His family was killed.
Yes.
And then his planet blew up.
Exactly. His life is a country song.
That's right.
My planet blowed up. My family is dead. All I got is guns in my chest.
In my head. Oh man,
This is going to be #1 on the country
That's
artist
right.
charts.
Oh,
But
Your magic just happened right there.
it
Your
was.
magic.
That was great.
But the kicker that got me, and this is where I don't want to go off on a tangent because that's what I do. But the thing is, they showed you the lazy story writing with this guy, because they couldn't have been like, we need to make an authentic connection between him and He-Man. He-Man heard about the war and goes and flies there, and he's like, get on before your planet blows up. You got it. Friendship. No, he was hurled through space.
Yeah.
And like landed on.
Well, that's what's so funny about Eternia, though. It's like I swear, all good that there's like the core of that planet is nothing but a pure magnet.
Yeah.
Because all the random characters are just flung through space into Eternia, and then they walk around. They're so buff. You know, it's probably just the iron in their bodies just like pulled down to the center of the planet and stuff.
gravity's
So,
heavier
so their
on
muscles
Eternia.
got to be so big. But
I have retconned Eternia, where Eternia is basically like a living planet, and it can like sense when people like who are amazing need to get like
Procrustes.
Exactly.
Right, it is.
Procrustes is like brings them, which is why Ezekiel yells out his name.
that's right.
But
You suppose Man at Arms, when Rio Blast landed on Eternia, is like, since somebody put him back together, was like, how did he put him together?
I think he was probably judging.
he looks at him and
criticizing. I would have put that over there.
One gun in each thigh.
Exactly.
3 or 4.
Look at those toes. There's nothing to them. There's an opportunity for damn guns.
In my mind too, in my mind, Man at Arms is a Procrustes denier. Like
That's
he's like,
deep.
there's no Procrustes.
There's no Procrustes.
That's funny. He's like pure science. mode.
Exactly.
There's no belief system.
We'll get into that later.
That's funny.
But yeah, that is Rio Blast, man. He's on Eternia. He's got a grudge and he's got a lot of guns.
He's got a. You wonder his mental stability after all that, but
I think
he has
he's on
his
the
chili
edge.
and guns to keep him warm.
That's right.
Yeah, or
Yep.
keep him
Well, that's
happy,
the
I
other thing
guess.
we didn't mention is that his award-winning chili.
He
That's
is.
what
Oh, yeah.
And he's definitely scared of snakes.
We did not make this up. This is in his character bio. He has seen hell. He has seen the mouth of the devil himself, and he's like, I'm scared of snakes.
That's right.
Snakes, and he makes amazing chili.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna say, not that we're already doing this battle, but I'm gonna say Rio Blast has a more tragic backstory than.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's see who can get who to cry first.
Exactly.
So we have RoboCop tell his. This is the battle of tears.
That's right.
Exactly.
I mean, RoboCop came from Detroit, which is still around. I guess it didn't get blown up.
That's right. It's like,
Yeah.
I was shot up on
Did his
pieces.
family? No, his family, his wife and kid are still
I
alive.
think so.
I think because
Yeah,
he goes
scene
in the
over
movie.
here.
He goes to his house.
Yeah, because like Detroit was like this dystopian like wreck in the
full
future.
of drugs
Yeah.
called
Right.
Nuke. I think it was
Yeah.
called.
Yeah, that's way better than having your entire
Planet
blown up.
family killed, entire planet
Yeah.
blown up.
And he's like, it's so funny. He's like, well, my planet blew up. Well, yeah, well, I'm from Detroit. All right, then. You win.
Never mind.
That's where that Kid Rock's from, right? Yep, you win.
You win.
We
I have to
apologize
eat this baby food.
apologize to all our listeners from Detroit.
Eminem's sitting there like, that's it, click.
Unsubscribe. All right, so we got guns on Rio's side, so I'll talk a little bit about the guns and ammunition that RoboCop has. The primary one is in the movie his Auto 9 gun, which is actually a 9mm handgun with a barrel extension on it and fires 3 rounds at once. And that's his primary weapon. We've seen that when has the guy that's holding the girl, and he can also use his sight to exactly sight in on what he wants to shoot.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need multiple guns because he only needs one gun.
That's right.
I guess. And then in later iterations, he has I think in the movie, he has the Cobra assault cannon. That's I think the one that he puts on the car to shoot the other robot, the A9 or whatever it's called. He puts on the top of it, just fires one basically cannon or grenade.
Yeah.
Yep.
That he has.
Yep.
And then he also has in later iterations in RoboCop 3, of course, as they keep doing new versions of him, they just keep turning it up to 11 on his weaponry, because he gets a rocket launcher, he gets a flight pack, because in the third one he has this little backpack on him that lets him fly. And then, of course, in the first one he has the data spike that he primarily is to use to interface with computers, but he does stab it through a guy's head.
Yeah.
So again, more violence, spike to the head.
Like a USB and a spear at the same time.
It is in my memory, but like RoboCop's main, that 9mm extended pistol, that thing came out of his thigh,
Yes,
right?
it did.
Like an inboard, thigh holster. So I'm like seeing when this battle starts off and like thigh guns come out on both sides, like, hey, you got thigh guns.
Like high five.
High five. We're friends.
Is it clink?
Yes, it does come out of his thigh. Yeah,
They
exactly.
They become a couple of gun nuts, just sit down and start talking about ammunition.
That's right.
I think it was was it Lethal Weapon 2 or 3 where they show all their scars and you're like, well,
Yep.
yeah, look at this.
That's
and
right.
so that's what he's like, yeah.
That's
hey, I
right.
think we want to trade guns. I can put
That's
my
funny.
thigh gun, you can take my thigh gun.
Mine's attached.
Don't come on.
Okay. So the guy and then I think I talked about the visor, which he can track and has different modes like heat mode and other ways to track. And then explosives in the RoboCop TV series, he has some sort of explosive device that's in his thigh. It must be in his other thigh. I think they're like little grenades that he can throw out. So he's got a gun in one thigh and a grenade in the other thigh.
Oh my gosh.
So, and this was in the RoboCop TV series. So they did a TV series as well. But that's kind of his weaponry. And I'll put it in the show notes, but I've got some pictures of a cutout of all his little devices that he has. And those are kind of cool. And I know Lee talked about it in our other Deathmatch. The cutouts when you're a kid are always kind of cool. When you see those
cross sections,
like cross sections of the Death Star or Star Destroyer. They have a cross section of RoboCop that you can look at and see where everything comes from.
I had one of the USS Enterprise that was so cool.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see like all the decks and all that.
We need a Rio Blast.
We need a
cross section. As in, you need more work to do, right?
Yeah.
You need more to do.
He said it first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A real blast
Well,
cross
let's
section.
get something. Anyway, we'll brainstorm.
That's awesome.
The toy of RoboCop, I'm looking at this, and he has got full-on missiles on his back.
This is obviously the later iterations in the 90s when the third movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the artist is looking at Rio Blast saying, put more guns. I think the artist on RoboCop, what more can we put on his back?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we want to take out a state. How should we do that?
This is where like the term cop and like army
Right.
starting to get muddy
That's right.
here. Like,
Amalgam together and
imagine him
come
pulling
together.
you over for speeding and he just has a missile pointed at your car.
The guy that came up with it, Edward Neumeier, he got the idea for RoboCop from Blade Runner.
Yeah.
That's where he got
okay.
some of the concept ideas from about mixing robots and humans together.
I remember seeing, and I'm seeing this on the toy too. He had those like hydraulic pumps on the back of the backs of his legs.
Some of the coolest sounds. I will say that about that movie.
Yeah.
It was some of the best sound work, ever. Like that, the gun that he had was that was cool. But then like when he walked, it was like, oh man, it just sounded
heavy.
so cool. It was like,
Yeah.
yep. Oh man, it was so cool.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm sorry, I need to correct. It was 30 deaths in the movie, not 31.
Oh, yeah, let's not get crazy.
That's how they got from X to R.
Yep,
Exactly.
that's what it was.
That's not counting any pets that were in the house. So just getting, like, mowed down.
Those were just women and children. We're not counting males.
Yeah,
And we already kind of went over Rio's arsenal, didn't we?
A little bit. Yeah, anything else to add to Rio? Did they do any different iterations when the 2002, or was he even in the 2002 reboot?
He was planned.
He was planned to. Everybody was planned to.
And he didn't show up in the 2002 reboot. He does show up in a lot of the comic books post 2000s. Some of the iterations that look... it's up for debate. It's all opinion here. I don't like some of the newest versions. I like the fact that he's a cowboy that has this stuff all kind of stowed away.
Yeah.
But some of the newest ones have him looking almost like Mega Man, where he's got a cannon for an arm.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
And some other stuff. I'm not a massive fan of that.
I like it. I like it when he just looks like Emilio Estevez with a backpack. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And then
That's
all of
the
a
way it
sudden,
should be.
it all just pops out of everywhere.
Like that's the way it should be.
Yeah. The one thing that I did think was interesting was that he had that backpack mounted, essentially cannon that would come up, and he had a little visor that you would, you could see.
Okay.
And then right behind that, they came out with those He-Man weapon packs.
Yeah.
And they had that shoulder mounted laser.
The mega laser.
The mega laser.
Mega laser.
And you could, it wound up, and then it had the two barrels would just do this. Like,
alternate back and forth.
Yeah. And so, I mean, He-Man or whoever who had that looked like Rio Blast, because it had that same kind of over-the-shoulder aesthetic, and then there would be a little visor for their eyes. I had that thing, actually.
Nice.
And it was still pretty cool, not going to lie.
I do remember from the Rio Blast mini comic, like when He-Man finds him, he's like cooking his chili or whatever in the range. There's like a stampede of cattle.
Yes.
Yep.
And to divert the stampede, like Rio starts shooting in front of the cows, and then He-Man puts on the mega laser, and they're like side by side, like
Yep.
pew, 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 pew.
I could do that too.
Yeah, it's oh man, they just so many ways to work in those toys. But shy of the mega laser and all that, I think that pretty much is, two in the arms, two in the thighs, and then one in the chest.
Yep.
Comes right out.
Is Rio? Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Is Rio Black now? RoboCop. He's pretty much all robot except for his head.
face.
Yeah. Is Rio Blast kind of the same, or does it say?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out when you do the cutout.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because like he's got like a flap on his shirt, like that's folded down.
Like the old the old
Western
lawman
shirt.
back in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just like folded down, and then you can see like wires and stuff behind it. So he's got to be pure metal.
I would say,
But I don't know, his arms and stuff are flesh colored.
my thought was that basically his entire chest cavity was just emptied.
Yeah.
So like his chest, his like upper legs, and maybe partially his arms were metal. But then the rest, like his back, his butt cheeks,
Rio Blast butt cheeks.
were still flesh. So and his head is all...
I ain't sitting on metal. I'm trying to get this chili out of me.
Exactly. It's like, I can't have a metal head. My hat won't fit no more. But my interpretation was that he wasn't 100%. If anything, if you want to percent it out, he was maybe like 60% robot, and then the rest of him was still humanoid. But with RoboCop, it's like 90%.
Yeah, he's 90% robot.
Yeah. I'm imagining like this 200-round magazine running down like each of Rio's legs, like all the way to his feet, to feed those thigh guns.
That's true. Where'd all the bullets come from?
That's right.
Well, they're being made. Bear in mind, he's got nothing in his stomach, so I think if there's a stomach, it's just making more bullets. It's just like generating.
Did he convert chili to bullets?
That's what I was gonna say. He's like, that's his fuel.
Bullets smell delicious. Oh, gosh.
Do you use onions in your chili?
I do.
It's killing me.
But that's ostensibly his
Yeah,
weapon.
I think that's
level.
it.
Yeah.
Another fun.
And his mustache.
Oh, yeah, he's got to have a real mustache.
Probably the biggest.
So he does win if we're doing battle. The mustache.
I think that
definitely
takes it
real
over the
last.
top.
I don't think RoboCop can grow one.
Nope.
I think so.
I think
I
the
don't
visor.
know that baby.
Imagine him
that
with
baby
one
food.
though.
Yeah. Oh man. He's like trying to shave. He's like ding, 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 ding. I can't get it. I can't get the visor.
This is ridiculous. I'm looking at him right now and I'm picturing a giant handlebar. It's the best.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so good.
Funny thing, or not funny, I guess, for the city of Detroit, but 27 years after the movie was released, Detroit actually did declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So the dystopian future is somewhat coming
It's
to
coming.
true.
Yep. You're gonna see this robot cop pulling up in a Taurus
Yeah, that's true. He did drive a
What it
Taurus.
was?
Yeah, Joe and Torres.
Yeah,
Torres. I'm a bad guy.
When you have to fight crime and get groceries.
That's
Also, too, Peter Weller would remain in character during the whole filming, and he would only respond to the instructions from the director. So if anybody
Really?
else would talk to him, he wouldn't respond. But when
Man,
the director
he's
did,
really
he would respond.
wow.
only if he was addressed as Robo.
Oh,
So
wow.
Peter Weller really got into character.
Hey, when you're a doctorate art
That's
historian
true.
/ Buckaroo Banzai, you do what you want.
You get away with it.
Do what you want.
Like, do what you want.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of the greats are like that.
Yeah.
You know, the greatest, like Johnny Depp is the same way. You know, when he's in his character, he's in it. He's
Yeah.
in it, you know.
Yeah.
And Jared Leto's the same way, I guess. Like he was, you know, when he was dressed up as a Joker and stuff, you know. And I mean, but that kind of went with everybody. Heath Ledger did the same thing as well. Like they just wore the Joker and, you know, but yeah, there's a lot of great actors out there that's what they do.
Since we have no other media incarnation of Rio to lean on, right now it's just me. And when
The weight of the world is on
and
you.
when I'm in Rio character, I'm the same way. I'm at home and somebody needs me, and they're like, "Dad," I'm like, "Who's Dad?"
Is that Ezekiel? That's
I
all
can shoot. What's for supper? You know what's for supper. Rhymes with Billy.
Rhymes with Billy. Dad, I was out mowing. There's a snake in the backyard. Let it go.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I'll die. We'll kill us all. Burn our house down.
Blow the planet up.
You know, Eddie, if you do mow the yard this summer and a snake comes out, you know you're going to get into character.
I'm gonna. Ow! My gun!
You start hearing bullets going
Run
on.
inside. Come outside with 2 shotguns in both hands.
The neighbors are like, it's just Eddie. It's not a snake.
He's in character.
He's in character. He's in character.
But-
Call the
but yeah,
police.
but yeah, call the cops. Call RoboCop.
Call RoboCop. Take this guy out.
Method acting.
Ford Taurus.
You think they could have found a car cooler than a Ford Taurus?
Oh man.
I mean, what
They,
was
like,
the budget just that?
They like
limited?
it had to. They like hung like futuristic panels.
I was
on
gonna
it.
say they
Yeah.
probably had to like tack stuff onto
This
it.
movie brought to you by Ford.
That's right. Brought to you by Ford.
Get your groceries. Get the bad guy.
So what if they do battle? So let's run through some battle scenarios if you guys want to come up with
Yeah,
some fun.
I think this is my opinion. I don't think there's a battle. I think like they square off OK Corral style.
Yep.
And then it's like, hey, you got thigh guns? I got thigh guns.
That's right.
And then it's like, hey, what kind of ammunition do you use? I don't know. And then it just goes, and they become like,
Yes.
I
brotherly go
100% agree.
go nuts.
What I see it almost like it's a Western setting. A tumbleweed blows
Yes.
by. And, you know, Rio's in there drinking a sarsaparilla. RoboCop pulls up in his Taurus.
He gets out.
Nice bull.
And of course, he's got to call him out. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Yeah, Rio's got Stridor hooked up to a thing, and he's like, "Nice horse, dummy." RoboCop takes offense, and then they both see each other draw, and then they're like, "Wait, you got guns in your guns? in your legs?"
And I picture
Yes, I
a
do.
pile as they're going through it. Half hour later, there's just a pile of guns all around them. That's
Exactly.
like, I got this one for my Pappy Ezekiel gave me this one on my 13th birthday.
I picture them tossing a bottle up in the air and shooting it out like,
Yeah.
targets shooting together.
and then it ends with them up at the bar, like arms around each other, crying over a bottle of whiskey. You know,
I lost my parents too.
I lost my parents. Yeah.
Calling
He's
old
holding a picture of his
girlfriends.
kids, and he's holding a picture of his planet. Consoling each other.
Or maybe they swap food. So he tries his baby food and RoboCop tries his chili.
Tries his chili. Rio spits it on the ground, and RoboCop is like,
Turns around and shoots Rio then.
what? It's basically the plot of the beginning of Three Amigos, where he's like, first you fight each other, then you friend.
That's right. That's good.
Rio and
RoboCop.
That's
So
a
there's
phone
who do you think should win? Rio or Robo?
I'm with Lee. I think that it would just be a friendship.
I think we
Best
call
buds.
this.
Yep.
I think we call this one a
I think we
draw.
call
I
it
think
draw.
literally,
Oh, pun intended.
but I'm tis.
Guess it's up to the listener.
Do you want to come back with me to Detroit?
Nope. I'm good.
I'm going to stay here with my chili.
I'll deal with the snake man before I deal with that.
He's got Snake Man with pecs.
That's-
I would leave it up to the listener on this one. I don't want to be that guy, but I think that it's definitely going to be a draw. I mean, we got two.
Draw again, another.
They live by the gun.
Live by the gun, die by the gun.
Have friends by the gun.
there's a funny thing if
Sleep with your gun.
By the gun.
talking about
inside your chest.
talking about in credit scenes. If you look at the copyright notice at the end of the film, so I'll read it here real quick. They have a little. Whoever wrote it must have come up with this. This motion picture is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries, and its unauthorized duplication, distribution, or expedition may result in civil liability and criminal prosecution by enforcement droids.
Oh,
That's amazing.
So somebody threw that in at the very end.
Even then, they had to have a good little jab
laugh.
at it. Oh, love it.
Man.
So there you go, Rio Blast and RoboCop.
All right, ready for round two?
Round two is. Let's see. We went first this time, so Mega Guys, you got yours. We're doing Ram Man versus Juggernaut.
Oh, this is a big one.
It is a big
This is
one.
a big one for me. These guys will not be friends.
No.
There's no friendship in this one. I can tell you that right now. Ram Man, once again, this is getting a little personal. Probably one of my favorites. Remember, you and I talked about this.
Yep.
When you first getting to know your buddy, and you're talking, and you're like, I like this guy. Who's your favorite? I'm like, Ram Man's one of mine, and you had that
I'm
weird
like,
pause.
no.
God, that's a bucket on his head. Like,
No, I thought the character of it was cool. I just didn't care for the toy. I thought
Yeah.
it was really cheesy. Everything was like this real thick plastic with all this detail, and then you get Ram Man. It's just like this hollow, like spring, blink,
Yeah.
blink, blink. You know.
Yeah, I had the same experience. I was getting all my Motu toys out for my youngest daughter. She was loving them. She's like, I like this one. I like this one. I pulled out Ram Man, and she's like, is that a McDonald's Happy Meal toy?
It is.
Eddie's head just hangs down.
I mean, because it was one of my favorites.
Right.
Because his action feature was so
was different.
unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I was, like I said before, excuse me, it was toy and then comic. So I was playing with the toy, I read the comic, then I saw the cartoon, which is a complete departure. Because in the comic, he's this kind of savage, brutal, kind of almost hyper-violent character. And they even say as much on some of the articles on Ram Man. They're like, initially, he was kind of pitched as like this brawler, kind of like berserker.
Yeah, Berserker, yep. Or Juggernaut.
Or Juggernaut. They both have a common aesthetic, don't they? Like,
do.
well, like that bucket on your head. It's a nice bucket. We need Jesse here.
We do.
Yeah.
But Ram Man, what was his original name? It had another.
Oh, he had another name like Rio too.
Yeah, I think it was like Ramulus. Or
I was
something.
gonna bring my compendium. I
That's
forgot.
fine. But I looked it up, but they didn't really have anything there low hanging fruit to look it up. But introduced in the very early run of He-Man.
Yeah, he was in the first.
His first wave, wasn't he?
I think he was second.
Oh, second.
No, he was first wave
Yeah, it was
because he
He-Man.
had. Or no, you're right.
Second
So
wave,
the,
eight in the original.
the toy came out second wave. You're correct.
Right.
But with the comics, he was in the first. They basically had, what was it? It was like, I want to call it like a story or whatever.
Yeah.
There was like, was it 4 or 6 mini comics?
I want to say it was like the one, issue 4 maybe.
But it was all strung together.
Yeah.
And so that's where the origin of Ular and the goddess and all that other stuff. And Ram Man was introduced in that.
Yeah.
I think his mini comic is also one of the first one that was done like comic book style because the previous ones
Yeah.
were like storybooks, even though they
Correct.
called them mini comics.
Single
illustration, a lot of text. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so the comic was basically he was just this like traveling warrior who gets like bewitched by Skeletor
Yep.
and starts just teeing off on He-Man.
Yeah, because he didn't have a very big IQ.
No,
Yeah,
no.
and
Well,
so-
they didn't get into like him being dim in the comic a whole bunch. It kind of made a
right. But I remember in the storyline, Skeletor was basically like, "Hey, look, we need to get in the Castle Grayskull," and so he kind of knew that Ram Man's heart was good, and so he's like, I forget why, but
He
he was
tricked
basically
him.
he tricked him. He was
Yeah.
like, "There's something bad going on in Castle Grayskull or something like that, or
Right.
whatever it was. I need to get in there."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "In that He-Man guy, he's evil and he's holding this person captive or something like that."
Yeah.
And so he basically tricked him into it.
He's like,
yeah.
"You're the last person I talked to, so I guess you're right."
Never mind your bony face or anything.
Never mind, you smell like evil.
That's right.
But yeah, and so in the cartoon, they kind of doubled down on that whole like easily tricked. They kind of played around with him being kind of punch drunk because his whole like character feature was that he used his head to knock things down, and he had this enchanted armor. They didn't really get into that initially. It was just he was a big, strong guy who had crazy armor. Later on, I want to say it was the 2002 reboot where they were like his armor's enchanted. It has all these special magical properties to it, and he's a super big tough guy.
Yeah.
And I think they made him less of a punch drunk. In the second.
He was just a big, strong dude.
Yeah.
Not so many concussions.
Yeah,
Right.
he's got less brain trauma.
Right.
Man at arms treated him for concussions and got
He's good to go.
What I love about it is there's all these guys who are full on injured that Man at Arms got a hold of to air quote fix, and he did. Ram Man, for whatever reason, kept him away. Like I'm good, leave me alone.
Fine.
My neck is all right.
So I
I take omega-3s, I'm good.
So I think in early iterations he looks like a normal guy. I mean, he's a big guy, but then at least in the comics I read later, then all of a sudden he's 2 feet taller than everybody else.
Yeah, which is kind of the opposite in the cartoon. They made him shorter.
He looked smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
They made him like a sawed-off shotgun kind of guy.
And he had that like ridiculous like boing boing.
Yeah.
boing.
Yes.
It was just like.
And he'd smash his head into something, and then like his eyes would like swirl
the
around like
cartoon.
Scooby Doo or something like that.
And we poke fun, but he had this weird like Jersey Shore accent that for some reason people didn't. There was no basis in it at all. It was just like they were really kind of poking fun. I think at like the East Coast or like New England boxers.
Yeah.
But the point is, super strong, tough guy.
Yeah.
Takes like the definition of the tank. If you're having an
Yeah.
RPG party, I mean, he's definitely the one who's soaking up a lot of damage. And the guy, he's single-handedly in the comic broke down Castle Grayskull's door.
Yeah.
The
only person that could do it.
The only person that could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's already got that under his belt. Broke down a magically enchanted door that was the power of Grayskull.
That's right. He's kind of like their Hulk, on
Yeah.
Eternia. How the Hulk is like we have a Hulk,
We have a Ram
Man.
We have a Ram Man.
Yeah, that's right. I'm over here eating my cheese dog. Just a second.
And then I see we have some stats here. So I don't know his hard stats, but I think the original character, if we're going cartoon, was probably hovering around 5'3".
Yeah.
But in the comic, he's about on par with He-Man, maybe a little taller even. I probably put him at about 6'4" or something.
Yeah.
But no, he's not ridiculous like
Some of those comic interpretations, if he were like an inch taller, he'd be completely square.
Yeah.
He
Right.
is
Yeah.
broad.
Right.
He's really broad.
Yeah, no, he's 6'4" tall and 6 foot wide. It's like whoa. And arm, and kind of similar to Juggernaut, his arms and legs are always seen as super big and stocky. With the newest release of not newest, but with the 2003-4 classics figures, did him a way better service.
Yes.
He does not look like a chintzy McDonald's toy.
No, not at all.
We joke about the sack full of Ram Mans.
Oh man, he is about 8 pounds of plastic. He is a big chunk of plastic, and he's expensive.
Yeah, he's not cheap.
So
But does he still have the same spring?
No action feature.
no action.
Really?
No, yeah, they kind of you give that up with those new figures.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of
That's
cool.
true.
You can see like veins in his arms. He's easily twice as big as a normal He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like two characters.
Yeah.
Was Ram Man the only character that I recall that, like the rest of them were like ripped, like they had like 2% body fat, and Ram Man's like, I drink beer on the weekends and eat pizza. Like
got a belly.
He had
I'm
big
just
arms,
big.
but they were fleshy.
They were fleshy. That's right.
He definitely had kind of a barrel chest, maybe even borderline beer gut kind of thing. But
he had the dad bod.
yeah, he had a dad bod. But he
He had that dad strength though too.
he was one of the ones who had probably one of the more brutal looking weapons too, because that was
that
just
axe.
That axe.
straight up axe, and it was like
Yeah.
it was a big one. It was like an executioner's axe, and
Yeah.
and some of those other guys had little hatchets, like the Buzz Off hatchet, and
Yeah,
the
right.
weird Mechanic club.
Yeah, his was for cutting through meat and bone.
Yeah,
That's right,
you were
yeah.
getting. If he does a spring and he's coming at you with that thing, it's gonna be
It's night over.
you're gonna walk funny.
That's right.
He goes to the tavern, I think, and has an axe next to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I knocked down Castle Grayskull's door.
What did you do today? But yeah, super fun character for me at least. I know, like I get it. A lot of people not their favorite guy, but one of the things I did say was with He-Man, they in the cartoon especially, they kind of would show a figure or a character, and then they'd kind of fade away. They didn't.
Right.
Ram Man was used a lot
Yeah.
in the cartoon. They
Yeah.
kind of revisited him quite a bit.
It was usually whatever toys they were trying to sell, like those characters would come in, but there was a stable of like
Yeah.
regulars.
Yeah.
And Ram Man was one of them.
And he's
for
one
sure.
of them for sure.
I just think his character on the show was such a likable character. That I know they did that with Orko as well. Like
Yep.
that was their whole reasoning for having some of those residual characters was let's have this person relatable, have this person relatable and stuff. And so I guess the adults saw kids as a bunch of bumbling idiots, you know. I'm like, hey, let's get them over here. Their eyes are swirling around their head, and
that's the one thing I did hate too, because they had like the hero shot of all the guys, and you would see like, you know, He-Man and Teela and Man at Arms, and then you'd see Ram Man, and you'd see him from like his chin up, like, hey,
hey, it's me, it's Ram Man.
But yeah, a great character, super tough, super strong.
As far as figures go, was he one of the first ones? You know, had the first wave. They were all essentially the same figures.
Yeah.
Was he the first one to kind of break the mold, so to speak, and have a different body type?
He's probably up there. Yeah.
As you know, Skeletor and He-Man, all their arms are
Same.
Well, there's
kind of same.
definitely nobody like him, you know, in the toy molds.
He's not the only one. There's a handful that have their own dedicated mold.
Yeah, but he was the
But I
first
think he was
one.
probably the first.
If
yeah.
not Manny Faces, because weren't they the same
that's true.
release? They were probably wave 2. Both
That
of
was
them.
all wave 2.
Yeah.
I think the only in wave 1 that I can think of, the only one that didn't share body part with somebody else was probably Teela.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But everyone else shared an arm or a leg
Stratos
or a
and
chest.
Beastman.
Well, yeah, but Teela and Evil
Merman.
Lyn were.
But yeah, Evil Lyn wasn't until like wave 2 or 3
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
true.
But in that first wave, they all shared something except Teela, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely had a unique body, because I mean his top half had to be hollow so the legs could collapse
Spring.
into him, and then you know, with the back little button that you would hit, and then he'd spring forward.
Do you guys have the original Ram Man? Eddie does.
I have 2 of them.
He's got one for me anytime I ever want him. But I don't.
Well, and they're so affordable.
Yeah.
Like the original ones.
are.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I picked up one that was kind of in rough shape for like $5.
Yeah.
And then you can get one that's in really good shape for like 10 or 15 if you're really, you know. Because they just made so darn many of these things.
Yeah, pretty much anytime we go into our local, you know, toy store like Pop Culture Exchange, they usually have 1 or 2 in there. The hard thing is finding them with his wristbands.
Yeah, they're
he had
stickers.
these chrome sticker wristbands,
Okay.
and they came off in like 9 minutes.
They just,
you know, so-
glue was like a wish.
Right.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
it's just like a lot of those Motu figures.
Oh,
Yep.
To have the original parts. Is,
Yep.
the one I have has 1 wristband.
He's got one.
Really?
Yeah.
One
Nice.
wristband, and he has the axe still too.
Ooh, we got the
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I've got the axe on mine, but no wristbands.
yeah. So
He's just got flesh-toned bumps where the
Right.
wristbands
Yep.
should be.
That's right.
like
a
He-Man's
dude.
gauntlets.
Yeah, his
right.
gauntlets are like these
Yeah.
weird bumps in his
Yeah.
arm.
And why did they feel the need to color Triclopses? Triclopses were orange.
Orange, yeah.
But He-Man flesh colored.
Flesh
It was just
color.
like weird.
I don't
They
know.
were clear.
It makes me
Well,
mad.
didn't like Skeletor, like he only had like paint on the front of his boots, but like the back
Well,
of his
some
boots.
of them,
There's
there's
two
called
kinds.
half
Oh, that's
boots,
right.
yeah.
There's the half boot Skeletor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
they
we're
were
not
made
painting
in
the back.
different factories. I think the half boots were in Taiwan or something like that, and the other ones were made in Mexico and never in America.
So
but yeah,
funny.
but
So they're just like, just ship them.
yeah,
But there was never any variations on Ram Man. I think it was
No.
always the same. They did in the comic.
in the comic
he had red tights, and in the toy he had green tights.
And I think his
Right.
tunic
And then
was orange.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's the thing. So we both have classic Ram Mans,
Yeah.
and he's got the original with the red top and the green pants.
Christmas colors.
Christmas
basically.
colors, and then I have the orange top with the red pants.
Yeah.
So
It's kinda fun.
It is fun.
Anyway.
It's funny how that
Anyways.
happens.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
All right.
So,
So,
tell
there's
us
Ram
about
Man.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
I know so little about him. I'm excited to hear some of this
Okay.
stuff.
Well, he's an X-Men character created in 1965 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, rest in peace, the 2 dynamic duos. He is the stepbrother of Professor Xavier.
Okay.
And that's where they clashed. So his dad got remarried, and this Kane Marco, that's his original name, he hated Professor Xavier with a passion, and so he would bully him constantly. Kane would, because Kane's dad liked Professor Xavier more and treated him nicer than he did his own son. And so now you can see the dynamic of them clashing constantly. So that's where he came from. He also has and also since Charles was, and that's where Kane Marco picked on the smart guy. So they gave him the Juggernaut, the mantle of the Juggernaut.
So he's not a mutant.
No.
Oh.
He got it from a crystal in Korea. So Lee has been in Korea. Did you use the temple over there?
I lived in Korea for 3 years, did not see the Temple of Sidorak.
I mean, but Lee's pretty yoked still. Maybe you did find like a little tiny piece of it or something, and you didn't even know.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little tiny puny weakling. I have a crystal right now, making me the huge guy. I'm just not telling anyone.
Steve Rogers style. That's amazing. I thought he was a mutant this whole time.
No, he's got the gem that gives him the Crimson Bands of Sidorak, which is a mantle, I guess. So whoever gets that gem, I guess the way I was researching it, there's multiple gems, and this is the one that he happened to find that gave him his superpowers. So the Sidorak is a demon. Way I understand it, there's 9 of these demons that have different powers that they give to people, and so he's one of them, and that's where he gets his powers, is from this demon that's really old.
I have learned anything.
It's not just a crystal. He's possessed by a demon.
Basically, yeah. He's possessed by a demon initially. Wow. He is a deity, and it was even worshipped. The Sidorak was worshipped by people on Earth way back, and that's where that temple came from. So the people in Korea, humans in Korea, erected this temple to worship this demon. That's where he got his worshippers from. Let's see, the powers that he gets, of course you've seen him. He's gigantic. He's 9'5", 1,600 pounds. Big guy with the bucket on his head, which he uses. That pretty much keeps him invulnerable from mental attacks. So that's what keeps him from his stepbrother, Professor Xavier, using those powers he can't get through the
Magneto kind
of. Yeah, the Magneto. Yes, cool. Exactly the same way.
I wonder if Ram Man's helmet protects him from Skeletor. No, he doesn't, because in that comic he he casts that spell on him and makes him attack Castle Grayskull.
It's all about soaking up damage.
He got the crappy bucket helmet.
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
It's good for ramming.
That's right.
So that's it.
So that's where he came from. He got this gem, and then boom, he turns into the Juggernaut and gives him all of these powers that he has.
And he doesn't flop back to human size. He's just that now forever.
At some point he did lose, and the mantle of the Juggernaut went to other people. For example, Colossus and the X-Men got it. But even when he doesn't have the gem with him, he still stays that really big guy. But he doesn't have the helmet and the other things too, so he's dramatically weakened down. So he's just a really big guy at that point. And so other people have had it. Colossus had it. Even Howard the Duck had the mantle of the Juggernaut. So they're grasping. The writers at Marvel are grasping at straws when, hey, why don't we give Howard the Duck the Juggernaut?
Mantle of the. So you had a giant hulking Howard the Duck running around.
Yeah, I've got a picture of it in the show notes. I'll show you. You can see it there at the very end, that the Juggernaut, or Howard the Duck has Juggernaut. But the Sidorak, the demon Sidorak, you can see him there, and I'll have the picture in the show notes. He looks a lot like the Juggernaut. He has this spike sticking out of him. And even at one point, Kane lost the power of the Juggernaut, so he went to the Sidorak's realm and battled the Sidorak and actually took the gem back from him.
Oh, wow.
And got it in a couple storylines.
Wow.
So he wants to keep that because he hates Xavier and wants to kill him constantly. And so they do a lot of battles with the X-Men. But even at one point, the writers said, why don't we put him on the team of the X-Men? And so they put him on the team of the X-Men for a little while. And again, they're just playing with lots of different storylines.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Excuse me, the big tagline with Juggernaut is once he starts moving, you can't stop him, is kind of the big juggernaut that he has.
And they played with that in the movie, I remember. Because once he kind of got up to speed, he kind of kept crashing.
He was unstoppable.
Yeah, it was pretty much unstoppable. I think the only time anybody stopped him or even tried to stop him was the Hulk. Him and the Hulk duked it out. And all the Hulk did, though, is when Juggernaut got going, is just kind of moved to the side, and then he couldn't stop. He ended up miles and miles away.
That's funny.
I guess. Funny. So that was in the World War Hulk storyline that they did way back, which is actually pretty good. I read that and thought it was really good. Hulk gets really, really angry. So side tangent. Really, really angry. He's fighting Colossus, and he grabs Colossus' hand and just bends him clear back.
Oh,
yeah!
And that's when he fought. So Juggernaut and Hulk fought in that one, but he didn't have the gem. And so, because I guess part of the reason you get the gem is you have to obey the Sidorak, and Sidorak's a demon, he's evil. And Kane says, I'm not going to be evil anymore, and so he took it away from him. So he made a deal with the Sidorak, said, okay, I'm going to go evil again if you give me the power back so I can take on the Hulk. And so he did, but that's when Hulk just moved out of the way.
But I want to be evil.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the Juggernaut.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the movies that Eddie brought up, the new Deadpool 2 movie features Juggernaut as a minor character. And what I found interesting about it is the voice that they did. I think Ryan Reynolds does the voice for the Juggernaut.
Oh, he
does?
too? Okay.
I didn't know that.
I'll have to look it up. But I think Ryan Reynolds has a couple of voices in that. But he has that Ram Man voice where he's like, all right, kid, let's go crush some stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
It's Jersey accent.
Yeah.
He does.
So people lean on that weird, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're big and you had a bucket on your head, apparently that's
Apparently a Jersey, Jersey fighter.
Kind of the power sets that he has is he doesn't need to eat, he doesn't need to drink or even breathe. So he can go underwater, he can go into space, and super strong, extremely strong, Hulk level.
Sounds like he should be on Eternia.
Randy's got a fight ahead of him on this one. Dang.
Man.
The weaknesses, I guess, that he only has are mystical, so he's kind of like Superman in that respect.
Oh,
Magic.
Ramy's got
is
enchanted.
he's got enchanted armor.
Uh oh.
Yep.
And that it can redirect. Let's see, he can redirect some of that, or that, like Thor would be another one. So Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, can do damage to him. Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
in the Marvel universe, can do some damage to him because of the magic. High levels of mystical or mental attacks, so he can be hurt by mental attacks, but you have to somehow get his helmet off, which that's what they've done in some of the storylines in the comic book, is get his helmet off. If you can get his helmet off, then Xavier can zap him, just like Magneto.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Take control.
Same type of thing. Shatterstar from the X-Force, his swords are magical, so they can do some damage. They did a crossover with DC, I guess, where Juggernaut faced off against Wonder Woman, who managed to knock him out with a single punch, but remember, she's magical.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So that's the key. So, yes, magic.
Man.
Wow. Yeah, see, as this fight goes down, I mean, obviously it's going to be like a head-to-head. These two guys know nothing other than just
Bash
Bash each other.
There's no elite fight training here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you got
Thugfest.
Yeah, you got demon encrusted bucket armor versus enchanted armor.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining like this, cinematically, like one from one's like from the other side, from one side.
Boing, boing, boing.
Boing, boing, boing,
And then the hit, and then like
Juggernaut's like, what's that noise?
then that mushroom cloud.
I know, you see like a wide shot, you see a little mushroom.
Buildings are falling. Yeah.
Rio's in the foreground. What was that? What
Tarnations.
But yeah, I mean, you have enchanted armor that has it shattered down, broke down the door that nobody could get into. Castle Grayskull, probably the most powerful fortress that I can think of.
Yep.
Granted, I'm a huge fan, so I'm going to defend it. Actually, Superman's Fortress of Solitude was way. So, I mean, granted, you don't see them invoke that a bunch, which is classic He-Man. They don't get into, like, a deep mythos of his armor. I mean,
No.
Marvel gave you a cool... There's a whole backstory on the guys' powers, let alone...
Right.
But so the only thing we can really hang our bucket helmet on is that he knocked down Castle Grayskull's boots, which is a big feat in and of itself.
This may have been how, like, Laredos, the planet was destroyed.
Oh, the
Shockwave of Juggernaut.
They duked it out and split the planet's core.
That's amazing.
I do remember, I guess there was one other character that stopped him, was Onslaught, if you remember, is a mashup of Professor Xavier and Magneto. So in that story arc, he actually imprisoned Juggernaut in the crystal. Imprisoned him
really?
there. And then also Hulk, at one point, was one of the 4 horsemen of Apocalypse for Apocalypse. Mm-hmm. He was able to stop him, but he had also been given technology from the Celestials. I don't know if you guys know what those are. Those they talk about in the movies. So those two have actually stopped him, or at least redirected him.
Man.
Yeah. Ramy has a fight ahead of
Yes,
him.
he
I don't
does.
know. I would, it's so hard because you don't want to admit a defeat when you love the guy. But I feel like he's gonna fight hard.
Yeah. He's gonna make him work for it.
But yeah, he's not getting an easy win. But I don't know if you're gonna have Juggernaut get defeated.
Maybe we can have Ram Man fight Juggernaut when it was the Juggerduck, and have
there you go.
The Juggerduck.
It feels like no matter who you have in that armor, it's gonna
pretty tough.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna start off pretty strong. Like we said, just building up speed, boing, boing, boing.
I think personally, that it would be like a long, like...
Oh yeah, I think you're like 2 days later.
Right, like 2 days they're still going at it. I think it'd be a long fight. I think that the upper hand would be the enchanted armor.
Yes.
but I think that with just that ongoing, never stop drive of the Juggernaut, I think me personally, and I do like Ram Man, I think that the Juggernaut would probably end up getting it.
I think Ram Man dies.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, yep. I'm just imagining you said it'd be like a long, drawn out, like 2-day fight. I'm imagining them like coming at each other. Boom!
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, let's 200 paces out. Yeah. And they have to like do it again. Boom! Hey, how you doing? And they start getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Like each time.
Exactly. You like football?
Exactly. They both have Jersey accents, so they're like, hey, where are you from?
That's right.
Yeah, there
I'm
you
from
go.
the 8th mile.
I'm from Eternia.
That's right.
Oh, is that a borough?
Maybe they find out, they're live in the same areas, and we can't fight. We're
best friends.
No, we did that last one. We can't have them be friends.
Yeah, I know.
I as much as I love Ram Man, I think he's basically a little overpowered at the end.
Yep.
I just think that.
I think it's
he has
an
enchanted armor.
epic battle.
Yeah.
But
he has a giant crater where they were stood, but I think Juggernaut's walking away from this one.
right. But he like gives them respect.
Yeah, he tips the bucket to him.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
He's put a serious dent.
There's a dent. Oh, his armor's all jacked up. I think, yeah, he's got a bloody nose.
I wonder if there's some fan art out there. Juggernaut versus Ram Man.
I mean, this is what these podcasts are going to generate is like Ram Man fighting.
And then Man-at-Arm comes over the hill. He's like, I'm going to fix him up right this time. Robot Ram Man.
So Man-at-Arms is watching the battle, just eating popcorn. Like, ooh, I can't wait to fix this.
He's like writing down notes. Like, I got this figured out. I'm going to do that dog face like I always wanted to do.
Don't worry, Ram Man. I'll take care of you. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, no, don't.
I'd also like to see about somewhere in deep into day 2 of this battle, like they get pulled aside and put on like the Alex Trebek episode of like Jeopardy with with Sean Connery, SNL with those two and Sean Connery.
Oh man,
that's like a lightning round to decide the winner.
Battle of the Wits.
Yeah, because in any of the iterations of Juggernaut that I read, he's not known for his intelligence. That was his stepbrothers.
Yeah.
So I intellect level, him and Ramy might be pretty close.
I was saying they're not.
So they're playing Trivial Pursuit.
Nice.
Could be a dead even.
Stuff to ram for 400.
Let's see. That's funny.
Oh, hilarious.
W.
I'm gonna Eddie's vote. I'm gonna give this to the Juggernaut. I think he's gonna crunch Ramy.
Yeah, my vote would be for Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
All right.
Okay. Well, you, the listener, decide. Who do you think and what funny ways they might battle each other?
Ooh. Round 3.
And probably the funniest.
The headliner.
This is we left the teaser for last.
Oh man.
So this one is going to be Modulok on the He-Man side, and then Cootie on the Covert Nerd side, which is a toy. So let's see. You guys went last, so I guess it's our turn.
It's your turn.
Okay. So Cootie is a toy created way back. I didn't know it was this old, but
I know. I thought it was like a 1960s thing.
me too. I thought maybe it was even 70s. 1948, created by William Shaper, maybe
Shatner.
William Shatner, his twin brother Shapper.
Cootie.
This Cootie.
I must put the legs.
And it sold millions.
Yeah.
The first years, and it was made from wood.
Of course.
And I've got a picture of it in the
and lead paint.
Had real teeth, baby teeth.
Was that the add-on?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the expansion pack. But it was made of wood, and it basically how to describe it is you have all these parts. So you have kind of the main body, the head, you've got the legs and the antennas, and you roll the dice. And so the idea is if you roll a 1, you get to put a head out. If you roll a 2, you get to put a thorax out, I guess, for whatever you want to call it. And you've got eventually, whoever gets the whole cootie put together wins the game.
Right.
But I remember we had this in the early 80s, a plastic version of it.
Yep.
And we never did that. We just kind of put it in together in all sorts of different parts. And somebody I heard on a podcast related it to Mousetrap. Nobody rarely played Mousetrap how you're supposed to. You just put it together and let the guy jump in the pool. And,
It was more of a toy than a game.
Yeah, and so Cootie was kind of the same way. But We had it, the plastic version, like I said, which I think came out in '86, and it was sold. The company was sold to Milton Bradley at the time, so ours was a Milton Bradley version. I remember that we had, and it went into in 2003. The Cootie was named the Toy Industry Association's Century of Toys list. You know, toys list everywhere, but it's now part of Milton Bradley the way it looks now, and he was. In 1948, the guy that came up with it was a postman, and he came up with it because he looked at the fishing lures and thought of how can I take these fishing lures that I'm making, because he made his own fishing lures. So you're diehard if you're making your own fishing lures,
right?
And how can I make this into a game? And that's how he came up with it.
Such an elitist right there. Oh, you buy your fishing lures? Whatever.
Yeah, I made mine. Yeah.
This toy makes me so happy to be a child of the 80s, where we had He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers. I'm just imagining the kids of the 40s where you get to roll a die and put together a bug with a spiral tongue.
Yeah.
It's either that or play with this can.
Yeah, hours of fun.
That's right.
Or get smallpox.
Let's see, Cootie or
Billy, it's your role. Let me turn off the iron lung first.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not done making soap yet for the family. 1940s.
He was out
man.
those.
I remember we did play this game. We legit played it at my grandma's house. You know when you're a kid and you're basically
at grandma's house. Yeah,
you're held prisoner. That's basically what it is. And this is totally an age thing because now, and this is where we get to be old men and talk about how it was different when we were kids.
Right.
But it is.
Man.
These kids bring along these gosh darn cell phones with them and
newfangled things.
Oh man. And but we didn't have that. We had no escape.
Yeah.
So and rarely could you just bring something along. My parents were like, no, you'll forget it. Leave
That's
it
right.
here.
Yeah.
So we go to grandma's, and you were stuck playing with the stuff she had.
Yes.
She had broken toys and weird stuff, and she had a game of Cootie.
Yeah.
And it was from the 60s. It was a 1960s-ish version of it. And we legit played it. We'd roll the dice and do the thing. And what I figured out, even as a kid, was it's fun building the Cootie. That's why it sucks to be the one who doesn't win the game. Because you're sitting here with a Cootie with one leg and a head on it, and you're like,
keep rolling a 3.
Yeah. So I get the notion of just build the dang thing, and then we would play with them because once again, there really wasn't much option. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun game. But once you've done it a couple of times, it's kind of like you're done.
There's not a whole lot of skill involved in that game either.
No.
It's literally just chance.
Yeah.
So you tell Grandma, I'm done with Cootie. She's like, well, let me see if Lawrence Welk is on.
That's
exactly.
right. Yeah.
Search on TV.
Yeah.
So
the Shopper company, also, or Shaper, however you pronounce it, he also made Ants in the Pants.
Ants in the Pants.
Yep, Don't Spill the Beans, Don't Break the Ice.
Oh, wow.
And then the company also did Stompers. I don't know if you remember those Stompers where you put the little battery in the 4x4 truck and it goes around this little track.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you can change out the tires, put foam tires
Yes,
on,
those
rubber
are
tires on.
great.
They
So
were
he's
on point there.
yeah, well, Ants in the Pants, I remember that one, and Don't Break the Ice, I think was the other one. So
Yeah,
it's
classic.
they pretty popular. Sold over 50 million games between 49 and 2005, and then they had the Stompers.
Why aren't we coming up with kids games?
I tell you what, we could. We're just making these.
Because all they're doing is churning out the same stuff. We just bought Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail as card games.
Yeah.
And the kids are like, what is this? This is amazing. I'm like, yeah, this is what I grew up on an Apple computer, and it was my life.
Yeah.
You know?
You have dysentery.
That's right. As a matter of fact.
I shelled out 20 U.S. American dollars for a 1982 copy of Slapjack. That hasn't showed up yet. It'll come. It's overseas.
Yes.
But
Coming across on boat.
yeah, exactly.
It's the most epic edition of Slapjack I've ever seen, though.
My goodness. I think the cards have powers.
Worth
too.
every shilling you paid.
I was going to say, we're going to have to wear armor when we open up that
Tuppence.
box.
Man. Goggles. Welder's mask.
What happened to Eddie? He looked at Slapjack.
I'm blind. I'm just.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, a cool game though. I mean, when you're a little kid, it's the age range. I would say you're looking at somewhere between 4 and
8,
7 or 8, and then you're done.
Yeah.
They also had Giant Cootie and Deluxe Cootie, which had 6 cooties instead of 4.
Giant Cootie could be really creepy.
Yeah.
That little twirly tongue always gave me the
It bugged me.
heebie-jeebies.
That weird bug biscuits.
Literally.
So this is sad, but I've never played ever in my life, Cootie, or played with this game or toy ever.
What you talking about, Willis?
At my grandma's house, it was Racco and root beer barrels.
Racco?
Racco, oh
and like the barrel of monkeys.
We had the barrel monkeys at my grandma's house too.
Yeah, but Racco was a fun game.
You can almost do a whole episode on games that your grandma had.
Oh man, that'd be fun actually.
There we go.
We should do that.
Everybody
games at Grandma's house.
2-3 games at Grandma's house.
We had Lincoln Logs, and
Lincoln Logs. Yeah.
I hate Lincoln Logs. Like, look, I made a ski lodge. Look, I made a log cabin. Look, I made a fort. I mean, it was it.
As a gag gift, everybody, for Eddie's birthday, everybody send him Lincoln Logs.
I would love that. I would love it because I hate it so much. It would be that weird matrix of love.
He's like, good, it's for my fire pit.
It's like when you get that gift from your grandma that you really don't like, but at Christmas time you don't wanna convey that to them. So, I love it.
Oh, dude, I remember being all like happy when I figured out how to make an effective roof because my roofs always sucked. Then I'm like, but then what I realized is I'm building a real log cabin. Like, this is the real, like, I go outside and make a real one now. Just like, I know all this. I need pine tar, Grandma.
I need pine tar.
Fun fact, Eddie, you'll like this since you're a Weird Al fan.
Oh.
If you watch the video, the Dare to Be Stupid video, there's a little cootie.
That does its way across the, yep.
That's a cootie.
It's so good. I love it. Yeah.
All right.
Cootie. And our contribution, which is kind of appropriate.
Yes.
And you are the voice of this person, so I'm going to let you.
I am not. He has his own voice.
Well, I know what's true.
I'm in the character.
That's
I
true.
get the character.
He does have his own voice. You do our character of him.
Yep.
Who is this?
Modulok.
Don't be so excited.
I had to spit first.
No.
So we probably should tell the listener a little bit of the love-hate relationship.
Yeah, so the backstory of Modulok with Mega, anyways. So Modulok, obviously, Masters of the Universe toy. He was way late.
He's late,
Wave 4,
Towards
you know. And, he was part of the evil Horde with Hordak and all that stuff. Horde. And we always have to specify it. The thing with Modulok is that it's a love and hate relationship. You know, with some people, we've had a couple people on our show. We've had a lot of listeners who have commented like, "He's my favorite character." We're like, "Get out!" But ultimately, probably the one character that all three of us agree on Mega that we dislike.
Yeah, our least favorite.
Least favorite would be Modulok. You know, and so but Modulok as a toy, you know, he basically comes in. Was it 36 pieces, I think?
It's 36 pieces total.
And so he's got like 2 heads, a couple butts, bunch of legs, arms, thoraxes, all this other stuff. Very modular, obviously.
Yes.
And you can his whole concept is you can put them together in like 518 million different forms.
They were saying 10,000 combinations,
right?
Something like that.
It's something crazy.
Which is such a rip because they would like take one arm off and be like, look,
there's number 1.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, you know, as a toy as it stands, it's kind of cool. You know, I mean, it was all right. I mean, he had really bright colors, bright red and greens and all this other stuff. He was kind of cool, you know. But, like, just the story of him and then, like, especially on the Filmation cartoon and everything. Again, don't want to bash the guy, and anybody that really loves him, kudos to you. You know, but we just never really got into Modulok. And so he's kind of turned into our punching bag on this show. And, man, we give him crap. But, you know, the more and more that we bring him into our demise on the show, and so the more and more I'm starting to love the guy, you know.
Well,
but,
it's like,
it's fun.
The conversation, so much of this stuff comes from just conversations that you'll have. I mean, this is track any story people make, and it always starts with an initial conversation. Our comic book that we're all that, you know. But what we were talking about, I think it was even off mic at one point when I was like, when you get that, there's a book out there called The Art of He-Man, and it goes into all these amazing concept sketches. You get to see Orko without his hat. It shows you all these cool ideas that they had. Either were going to implement or never really planned on it, but just it was nice to know it was there. And within all of that, they addressed a lot of things, and you got to see a lot of their design concepts for characters that ended up becoming a certain character, or characters that never saw the light of day, but you could see their design process. And the conversation we had was what design process did this come from? Like, there was just a bucket of extra legs, and somebody's like, we should make that.
Yeah, because on the show we're like, a janitor sweeping up a bunch of land. Hey, that could be a guy.
It all randomly came together in some weird messed up shape, and he's like, like cocaine fueled. That gives me an idea.
It does make you think that maybe they got at their Mexico plant or wherever, they screwed up on a design, and they're like, well, we have 1 million of these pieces. What are we going to do with them? We can't ship them back.
Exactly.
And the janitor's like, well, I used to play cootie at my grandma's house.
Exactly.
He's like, got it.
Give that man a raise.
You could play cootie with Modulok.
You could.
That's the thing. You could literally buy a Modulok figure and just play cootie.
It'd be an expensive game of cootie though, because he is
used.
35
what's
bucks.
Modulok going for now?
Used, he's 35.
Yeah, it's on for 30 at that Toys from the Past.
35 bucks. Yeah.
Just need to
That's
add a die.
crazy. His classics figure, which is like the more professional look or whatever, the collector's figures, if people aren't aware of what classics are. The classics figure is cheaper than the vintage one. Yeah, and that's not the way it is with everything else. Everything else is like I said, so like Ram Man is upwards of 150 bucks on the classics line. You can get him for $5 at a toy store. Yeah. But Modulok, he's 35, and as the classics, like the most I've ever seen him is 25. So it's like
I mean, this is where like he's definitely I mean, it's this way with anything. There's going to be people who like a character because either they just like it and it's just different and weird, or sometimes I swear there's people who do the contrarian thing. It's like, since nobody likes that character, they're like, I like that one.
Right.
Well, I don't want to.
My brother though, he
loved him.
He loved him. He loved Modulok. He got him, and he thought that he was super cool. He got all the Horde guys, and he just loved them all, And he was like, and I remember on our show, he's on our Triclops episode, and like obviously he hadn't listened to our show before when we had him on, and so he's like, that one guy I really, really liked? And I was like, who's that? And he's like, oh, that Modulok guy. And I'm like,
you're going to be disappointed.
I'm like, you are going to be so disappointed because we give that guy a lot of trash.
But in all honesty, you could play a game of Cootie with him.
Oh, yeah. So
you get a die and you.
Gosh, I want to do this now.
We need to do that.
Mega Cootie.
Oh.
We would probably need 2. At least
you'd have to have
2.
Well, you'd have to have one for everybody, and then parts for everybody.
But there's enough parts. But if you had 2 Moduloks, you could play a game of Cootie.
Oh man, this is fun now.
We got to do that. Mega Modulok.
Should we get the robot one too? What was he called?
He was
Megabot? No.
Megabot.
Multibot.
Multibot. Yeah.
He was bad too.
He was bad. Yeah.
I thought in the yin yang of He-Man they would try to make another segmented one for the.
You're right, they didn't, did they?
No.
What's on the storyline? Back to Modulok, is he a scientist?
So he started off as like a human scientist, and so basically, I'm trying to remember. So through Filmation, that's how it was.
Yeah.
He was a human scientist, or not human, I guess, but
Humanoid.
A person, whatever you want to call him, because I don't know if they're called humans on the planet, but so he was a human-esque, scientist
on Eternia.
On Eternia, right? And so, but he wanted to be bad. And so he was always trying to impress like Skeletor and stuff like that. And so, because Skeletor would use him to do things, and then so he was like, "Well, I want to be a part of your clan. I want to be like Beastman." Also, so he essentially made himself, into what he is. And so he just kept like redesigning himself and adding things to him to become, more and more powerful scientist / villain. Okay. And but Skeletor was never like took it up on it.
You can't make someone love you.
Nope. That's if we learned anything.
He's not that into you.
No, he's not. And like, so one of my favorite quotes of all the Filmation episodes.
Say it now.
I say it now.
You say it at work randomly.
I totally do it. It's he's like, there's a screenshot of Modulok like trying to work
at a terminal. With his freaky crab hands.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And so he's trying to talk Skeletor into letting him on the team. Essentially, he's like, but why won't you let me come on your team there, Skeletor? I'd like to be on your team. And he's like, because you're a weak scientist and you might be a weak villain.
Weak or wimp?
Weak.
Yeah.
Or wimp. You're right, it is wimp.
You're a wimp scientist. You're a wimp villain.
I'm like, oh my gosh. So like, if I ever meet Alan Oppenheimer, who does the voice for Skeletor, I will pay him $1,000 to say that to me, and I'll hug him and never let go. But I love that line so much. So good.
And that was from the Filmation, right?
Filmation.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was just such a weird dude on the Filmation stuff. And like another thing that I loved about him on the show was like, again, he was just all these body parts, all this stuff. So there's this one episode where he's in this forest and he's trying to listen in on these kids and what they're saying a ways away. So he bonks his head 3 times to make his ear grow. He goes boop boop boop, and then so every time he hits it, his ear grows up. He's like, what?
Oh my god!
He was just such an atrocious, weird character.
So he's a scientist that tried to improve himself. So he thought, I'm going to give myself claw hands as an improvement.
Yeah,
but that was one of his hands.
That was one.
He had normal hands too.
He had fingered hands.
Oh, that's right.
He had
four legs, two legs,
hands that had
two
feet on
heads.
them for some reason.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
I think I'm going to give my butt a voice.
That's right.
Yes,
because there was the one comic book.
Yes,
he's in 3 different parts.
Lock, and his butt has the last syllable. Lock.
That's me.
I remember reading the comic because my brother had Modulok, and I read it. I thought it was an okay comic, but.
Sure. Oh yeah. Well, again, that was towards the end.
But it's towards the end, yeah.
They're really throwing everything.
He's
in
the Injustice versus Masters of the Universe, and I should get the clip. But there's a clip or a panel in there where Triclops comes in, and Modulok is trying to usurp his authority, and Triclops in and says, "You idiot! Nobody listens to you."
Nice. I don't remember this.
It's something to that effect. Yeah, it's the new one. It's the Injustice
I gotta look at mine because
versus.
we have all the ones.
I was cruising through so
Triclops
fast.
comes in and says something to that effect, like, "Don't listen to that idiot."
Oh, there he is. I can get that tattooed.
It's tough. I don't want to wham on people. We just, I remember being a kid, and mostly, like, we accepted a lot of stuff in the 80s, especially, because, like, it still really wasn't a lot to choose from. Like, you weren't, like, when we got the He-Man movie, it was like, that's it. You knew you weren't getting another one. Like, I knew it in my bones. I'm like, this is never happening again.
Right,
and even with the Superman movies, I mean, I walked out of the number 4 being like, that kind of sucked, but it was still good.
That's right. It's better than nothing.
And so with Modulok, like, even still, I remember being like, I just don't love this guy. It just, I loved the monsters, and I loved, like, where they were going with certain figures. Like, we talked about the Horde.
The Horde,
it's so many great Horde figures. I mean, my favorite's Grizzlord,
but they're so good. Every single one of them was like Leech and Grizzlord.
Yeah, they were so unique.
The detail on the Horde was better than the
Motu. Oh yeah, they're just such
you
bright,
can tell they were
vibrant
up
colors.
in their game towards the end. Or trying to.
And to me, Modulok seemed like they had given up.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's right.
Give him 80 legs.
It was either that or it was like they hired somebody that was like family. They're like, we gotta let Jimmy create a character.
My son-in-law's a loser. He's got some ideas.
That's exactly right. What do you think, Jimmy? Well, I got this idea. I got 2 heads and a butt that talks. He's got 16 legs. He's on the cocaine. Way too much.
You know how
Jimmy.
He-Man's got 2 legs? Yeah, let's give a guy 8 legs.
8 legs.
You know, there's spiders that have 8 legs.
It's like this kid just comes in like, and just like rambling on.
It's got to be the son-in-law of one of the designers. I agree.
Holly Shore comes in.
I don't know.
All the boardroom guys are like clapping, like, yeah, good job. That's a great idea, Jimmy.
This is the son-in-law of the CEO or something.
That's
like,
right.
we gotta pretend like we like him.
I love my daughter. What can I say?
I mean, the same people brought you the slime pit, which is so great.
Right.
And then anyway, whatever.
But again, I mean, there's lots of people who he's literally their favorite character.
Yeah.
So again, we're not going to wham on him like that because I get it.
I get it.
He's very interesting.
I love
Ram-Man.
Ram-Man.
He's got lots of cool colors and everything. He's a cool character.
And his weapon was the double-barreled laser.
Yep.
That his hands
barely hold.
If I put my hand underneath my leg, but
if my foot holds it and it rested on my shoulder, coming out of my hip.
Real Blast looks at him like, "Let me help you out here."
That's right. Here, this is one.
He's like,
this gun here.
Let me show you this.
He's like, you got all these hands and no guns.
And I remember on the toy to make it fit his hands, like didn't like the handles were like really long.
They were.
Yeah. It was like this freakishly looking. I don't even know what it looked like. A waffle iron with like sticks sticking out.
Yeah, like a waffle iron with an old '80s VHS camera with a broom handle at the bottom.
Right.
I'm good.
So
I'm good.
It's like, who gave you that gun?
That's right.
Did we get into his origin? Yeah.
We
He's
did.
a scientist. Was his name always Modulok?
No, I don't remember his name. It was Doctor something. He was a doctor. He was a scientist, but I don't
Dr.
remember.
Locke.
Dr. Locke.
Dr.
Yeah.
Steve.
It was something with that. It was something. It was a play on, like they always did.
Dr. Modulus.
Modulus.
U-Lock.
Modulus. U-Lock.
Mod.
That's
Dr.
right.
Mod.
But now we have to have them fight.
Okay,
Time to do battle.
let's let them do battle. What
But
do you
can
think
anybody
happens?
really win with this? Is
all
there ever a winner?
It's all a loss.
We're just joking.
I think the idea we came up with is so they're in the arena. You got the crowd of 20,000 people, fans. Fight. So one comes out one side, one comes out the other, and then all of a sudden they we paid for this. Or we thought they all of a sudden they look at each other and then Barry White comes in the background like, oh yeah.
See the
Hearts in their eyes. And
Everybody's like,
Let's make
people are
love.
covering their kids' faces. Don't watch this, Billy.
And then you got
man.
you got multi-bot up there like, I thought you loved me.
I feel so betrayed.
That goes over there. You don't have a heart.
That's amazing.
I have
and then
4 of them.
And then you see like 4 years later they have little babies.
Modulus is parts,
Modulus.
little cootie parts put together.
There's a cootie with like a arm coming out of his forehead.
Oh my
curly
God.
tongue.
One Modulus with a curly proboscis
Oh my
tongue.
gosh.
The face
He has
only
2
a,
tongues for eyes.
the face only a mother could love.
Oh my gosh.
The camera pans out. It's like that painting from Family Ties, but
Yeah.
it's like
Yes.
Modulus and a little tiny the little butt with a baby bonnet on it.
Oh my
amazing.
goodness.
I love
Oh,
it.
my face hurts.
You gotta have the puns with "give me a hand" and then just
Yes.
a hand.
Yes.
Go help your dad in the yard.
Give me a hand with this, son. Here you go, Dad.
Hold the flashlight.
He's holding it with his proboscis tongue. I think there's no fighting here. It's almost that
It's love
Valentine's
at
Day.
first sight.
I think you're right. I think they think it's going to be this big epic battle, and then like you said, it's just like boom, spotlights come on and just turns into like this big love scene. People are running out of the stadium like, no, we're not gonna see.
Covering children's eyes, covering their own eyes.
Burning eyes.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
picturing
let's get it
all these
on.
arms and cootie legs and everything just mixed in this huge pile of parts, writhing around.
It gets rated X from the RoboCop. The RoboCop review board is like, oh my.
Oh, sweet.
Take notes.
They do at the beginning, you know how in WWE they have to walk to the arena and Modulus just all real tough and he's gonna go take him out and then
That's
he gets
right.
out. And
He's high fiving himself.
Yeah, high-fiving himself and then
Yeah.
he gets out and just.
Just little curly proboscises wrapped around things that you don't want to see.
I did picture him having those like 80s sunglasses with the shutters and he takes them off.
Wow.
Like, why would he have those glasses?
Well, you're gonna give him the weirdest glasses. I mean, just,
He comes out like you're gonna fight with like a sparkler in a mailbox. Like, all right. Just puts them down, takes out those glasses.
Oh, who do we have here?
The eyeballs are stuck in the glasses. You know. Oh man.
One eye comes off.
would both heads like Cootie? What if they didn't like?
Third wheel.
Third, yeah.
Oh man.
I don't
that's
know why
great.
he likes her.
That's right.
He could pop it off easily.
He's so pretentious.
You
Oh,
can do
man.
so much better than Cootie. Cootie can't even talk. It's just like
It's
this.
just like this bug.
I do like the multi-bot as part of the love triangle. He's always
Yes.
trying to break them up.
Oh, man.
Love me.
You said you love me. Oh my gosh.
I think we have a love match.
That's right.
I do. Love connection.
Oh man, that's good. There's another skit.
You can do Why You Should Date Modulus. He's on a dating game.
Oh,
That'd be great.
And Cootie's there. Cootie's the one trying to
Yes,
the girl.
yeah, she's a girl.
And Modulus is one of the
It's
contestants.
like He-Man, Triclops, and Modulus.
and Cootie is the one
Cootie.
trying to pick.
yeah.
And he was like, seriously?
Why did you pick anybody else?
What'd be so good is that like He-Man and like Triclops both are like, oh, we got to pull it there.
That's right. He's like,
Over the moon.
the most beautiful thing in the world.
My 7 hearts are fluttering.
I'm breathing through my ventricles in my chest. I can't keep up. I'm hyperventilating.
I'm also seeing like Modulok coming to pick up Cootie for a date. And the door opens and it's just the butt there.
That's right.
Sorry, the other guys had to work. They couldn't get off. You get just the butt tonight.
That's right. We're not made of money. I'm sorry.
Don't go out with me.
And Cootie's dad's like, I can't believe you're going out with him.
That's right.
He's a giant cootie.
He's a giant cootie.
I raced her better than this.
All right, that was awesome, guys. So, who, as a listener, who do you think should win, or what would they do on a date? There's so many
That's right.
questions.
I'd love to hear it.
They go see all the movies.
That's right.
Cootie leaves an eye in one theater.
They like go on like Fandango. They just reserve every seat.
All our parts.
It's so expensive to go to the movies.
The picture gets like Gremlins, but it's all Modulok's arms and legs and all the different seats.
We bought out the theater.
It's like, we got free refills of the popcorn, right? Oh man, that's so
Oh,
funny.
The torso in row 3 once more popped. How is it eating?
Oh, that's good.
I'll have to make sure we put pictures in the show notes so you guys can also know what
Yes.
we're talking about.
Yes.
Oh,
I think the
fun
listener
times.
wins on this one.
I
Oh,
think so.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
so. I
Hopefully
think
you
we
had-
won. That was
yeah.
a blast.
Hopefully you had Modulok and Cootie.
Yeah, exactly. Fall in love.
That's what Grandma needs.
That's right. That's right. Oh, man.
All right. Well, hey guys, it was a blast. So thanks
Yeah,
for doing
my
this. We'll have to do another one.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is
yes.
Pick
round
some
one.
two characters
Yep,
and pit them against.
There's so many out there.
Oh, yeah.
We can
Hundreds.
keep this going.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Cool.
yeah,
High fives. High
High
fives.
fives all around.
High fives.
Covert
High fives.
Air Deathmatch.
That's right.
4
Yes.
nerds enter, 4 nerds leave.
What a great episode. I appreciate Jeff and Eddie and Lee for all coming on the podcast. It was a blast, and I hope we can do it again. Please go to covertnerd.net for all the show note details, and you can get in touch with the Mega Guys. And thank you for listening. Until next time, nerd it up.